Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Ben Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and this is Horst Lüning, the senior taster of Whisky.com. Today we're trying the second Aberlour. We just had the 12 double cask, last video that we did together, and now we are trying the triple cask. And this time it is same procedure as last time. I think they're blending them together, fully matured in casks, and then they blend them together. This time they say two different kind of American white oak and one type of European sherry casks. Here on the bottle, you've read that they just say sherry casks.
Oloroso sherry cask.
Oloroso sherry cask. Might not be European, but probably are.
Yeah, whatever you hear. And here you do not have an age statement on it.
Mm.
So probably therefore they took another kind of cask in addition to give more flavor, more aromas to it. Yeah, and it is available at Whisky.com for around 50 euros, depending where you live, if there's 1 or 2 or 3 euros more on alcohol tax on it.
Yeah, so two different American white oaks.
I have several thoughts about that.
Maybe like a rye or maybe a first fill or second fill. That would be most probable, I would say.
Yeah. Or you have fresh American white oak and ex-bourbon white oak. And there are several regions in the US where the white oak grows, and some of them are very cold in winter. They have very fine rings, and they provide different aromas to those living in warmer climates where they grow a lot faster and deliver different tastes. And fourth possibility is that you have hogsheads where you refabricated 3 hogsheads out of 4 American standard barrels.
Or you had other previous liquors in it, like a rum cask is usually also American oak, but probably not.
No.
I would say second and first fill American bourbon cask is the most probable. That's what I do know from other distilleries. They highly distinguish between second fill and first fill bourbon casks.
And typically you can't overwhelm people with a very intense taste of a triple cask. So typically they take the less matured whiskies, not differential subtraction maturation where the unwanted aromas go away, but the addition where the additional maturation is very small, very weak. Those light, not aroma-rich casks, they typically are enhanced with some which are very intense, so that you level out. So I don't know. Price seems to be fair with 3 types of casks, because whenever you have more than a single cask which you put into the bottle, then things start to become expensive. Because you have those different casks, we have to have the mixture always right, you have to taste that. And on the other hand, if you have a standard bottling, then you go ahead with all those casks you have.
Usually if you have very big bottlings like the big blends, then you can blend a lot together, because you're just producing that en masse and you have that recipe. But for
50 casks
small
of this, 3 casks of that.
Small distillery like Aberlour, I think Aberlour also has like 2 million of production or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But so for them, it's a bit more work.
If you want to learn more about the Aberlour distillery, we had with the 12-year-old double cask, which was, I think, last week, we added a lot of information about the Aberlour distillery. So it would be not that good to repeat this. So please go back to the 12-year-old for this.
And subscribe to the channel, because probably in the next 2 years I will visit the distillery. That's really not a very urgent message for subscribing. Like, subscribe and you might see a video in 2 years that might interest you. there are other YouTubers like, subscribe now, you can win stuff. Like, we are like, subscribe now, you might see what you want in 2 years.
They will always win. Knowledge.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah. You give me a close-up?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So he works with his feet. So switching.
I would really like to know if
cameras.
other YouTubers do that.
So this one is different to the first one, because I have a lot of more vanilla and caramel in it, just from the start, and less spiciness. Yeah, if you have those 12 years completely matured in ex-sherry cask, then you get more of those tannins and bittersweet aromas from those casks. And here we have an old age statement, and this means typically 7-8 years. And so there's not that deep spiciness and already oakiness in the nose. It's friendly, it's fruity, it's comparable to the 12-year-old, but lacking the strong oakiness.
Usually we have a little bit of a difference between what we taste. This time it's just, with the two Aberlours that we had, it's just, it tastes the same. It's, as what he said. No, it's really fresh fruitiness, a bit more lovely, less of the strong oak influence that we had with the double cask. Yeah, more of the American white oak.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
The oakiness is not that strong. It's not that spicy. It's welcoming on your tongue. It's not that bitterness, that chocolate, that coffee influence in it. But it's intense as well. And the main character stays the same without these edge of oakiness in it.
I like it. It's a bit more pleasant, more American white oak than the double cask, but compared from the nose, it has more oak in it, heftier. Aberlour is a quite pleasant smelling and more intense sipping whiskey. But I do like it. It feels a little bit more spread out, I would say. You do have more of a like popcorn flavor, vanilla, a little bit of a crispy nuts and roasted nuts in there, and a lot of fruitiness.
Yeah, and the spiciness is not that harsh, not that intense as the 12-year-old has. Well, but you have to pay a little bit more for this one, for the third management of the third type of casks. And you do not get an age statement.
Yeah.
But I'm not able to taste any of these metallic youthness. So probably it might be that it's the typical 10, 12-year-old whiskey they have, and they added a third one, which is a little bit younger, so they can't write it on the label.
The European oak is coming out in the finish. For me, the finish is quite long lasting. So I was when I had it in my mouth, I was like, that one might be a beginner's whiskey. But now with the finish, that is, I would say, more advanced. Yeah, it's probably also directed more at the malt heads and the experts of whiskey, the connoisseurs. Okay, so that was it with the Aberlour Triple Cask. If you're living in the Netherlands or Belgium, have a look at Whisky.com. You can buy it at Whisky.com. And thank you very much for watching. See you next time.